Today's episode, I'm going to show you all how to make $1,000 per day trading futures. So we're going to take a deep dive into everything, and we're going to just cover, the basics. We're going to just cover the basics. We're not going to go too in depth about, anything else. We're just going to cover, basic definitions about futures, how to day trade futures, how to buy and sell, and how to make, these fast gains on a daily basis. So for starts, what are futures? So here's a list of the top, popular, futures that people usually trade during the day. But futures are basically contracts that let you buy or sell something at a set price later, like the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, gold, oil, etc. You're not buying the actual asset. You're just trading price movements when it comes to trading futures. And we're going to primarily day trade futures. We're not going to, hold it, overnight. And day trading, that's basically, buying and selling the exact same day. So why should you trade futures? In my honest opinion, you should trade futures for a number of reasons. For one, you can start with small capital. You don't have to worry about any PDT rule, and you can make some good profits in a fast time frame. So let me give you a general idea of the profits that you can make in a quick time frame when it comes to trading futures. Let me log into the Discord really quick, and I'm going to just show you all how much money you can make trading futures in a short time frame. We're going to cover that really quick. All right, so let me pull that up for us. Come on. All right. All right, let's go to the Discord really quick. Let's go to the Discord really quick. All right, so let me pull this up for us. Here we go. All right, family. So here's the profits that I made earlier today from trading futures. In one account, I made $222. Second account, $357. The third account, $1,506. So that was approximately about, let me see, that was about $2,087.26 a gain. And guess what? I was done trading by 9:45 a.m. So these are the type of profits that you can make in a fast time frame when it comes to trading, when it comes to day trading futures. Now, I want to show you all how to buy and sell futures in a practice account, just so you can have a general idea of how to enter and exit. So let me load up my other platform really quick. Let me load up that platform really quick. And let me also make sure that I have a practice account available, because I don't want to trade in my real account right now. I usually like to primarily trade the first 30 minutes of the day, max an hour. In some cases, max 2 hours. But it depends on, what's going on in the day. If I make my, target within the first, 15, 20 minutes, I'm done for the day, and I'm just sticking to my goals. If I make a certain amount, I'm done. I'm not, forcing anything, and I'm not, rushing into anything when it comes to, trading futures. So let me see. Give me 1 second. So Top Step has a new platform. Got to figure out how to activate. Let me go to the other dashboard really quick. Got to figure out how to activate the practice account in Top Step. Let me see if it'll let me activate the account in the old desktop. Give me 1 second. All right, so I may have to trade in one of my real accounts to show you all how to buy and sell really quick, because the system, it's not allowing me to, set up a practice account. So I'll just trade in one of my funded accounts with Top Step really quick. I got to wait until the platform loads up. So give me 1 second. I'm about to show you all how to buy long and how to sell short. Man, the internet in my office is extremely slow. It's extremely slow. Let me see if I can log out of some of these tabs really quick. And thank you all for joining me. Jerk reactions. Hey, I appreciate y'all as well, family. I really do, man. Y'all give a brother the motivation to keep going. Y'all give a brother the motivation to keep going. So I'm waiting for my platform to load up. In the meantime, I guess I can show you all a chart really quick. Let me show you all my chart. All right, so here's the futures chart. Here's the futures chart. It's nice and simple. I don't have, all of that crazy shenanigans mess on there. It's just nice and simple and straight to the point. And if you were in the Discord earlier this morning, you see how the market, it just pumped massively on the open. It pumped, massively. I'm still waiting for this platform to load up as well. I'm still waiting. So this morning, right? I say, good morning, team. We're starting the day with a significant pre-market pullback, which means opportunity is on the horizon, but only for those who stay sharp and patient. Let the first 15 through 60 minutes unfold before jumping into any trade. If we hold above pre-market lows, we should see a strong bounce and push to the upside. But if we break below those levels, be prepared. We might continue to go lower. And if we look at the chart today, right? We did exactly what I stated in the pre-market, game plan before the market even opened up. We did not break below the pre-market lows, right? And here's one of the futures contracts that I usually trade. It's usually MNQM25, but in this case, it's NQM25. These are the bigger, contracts, but I'll explain that in more detail, pretty soon. But we never broke below this $21,112.50 level. And if we look at the Qs, we never broke below $512.09. So that was giving us a strong indication, even though the market, it was bearish and, pre-market, we did not break below the pre-market lows. So that was giving us an indication that, hey, we do not need to go short. And I'm quite sure, some new traders, they probably, got burned. But when you have, experience in this game, you just know how to read the chart, to a T in some cases. And that's all I did, today. Read the chart and, just waited patiently for the opportunity. All right, so now I finally have my futures platform chart pulled up. Finally have that chart pulled up. And I'm going to pull up one of my funded accounts with Top Step so I can show you all how to buy and sell a future contract. So here's my Top Step platform, right? And let me adjust my screen a little tad bit. It's looking a little messy at the moment, but let me adjust my screen really quick. All right, so I'm only going to do one small contract because I don't want to get into a situation where as though I'm down, a massive amount. So I can kind of, risk trading. Actually, you know what? I'm going to trade in my Combine account. So I have two funded accounts with Top Step, but I'm going to trade in my Combine account. All right, so this is my Combine account, and this is the future contract that I usually trade every day. It's MNQ M25. So make sure you all write that down, because when you start trading futures, I don't want you to start trading the big contracts, out the gate. I want you to trade the smaller ones because they're volatile, but they're not as volatile as the bigger, contracts. And the bigger contracts, let me give you that one really quick. The bigger contracts, it's NQM25. So make sure you write those two down. So the big ones, it's NQM25, and the smaller ones, it's MNQM25. All right, so let's go back to the chart. So on my Top Step platform, I have my 20, my 50, and my 200 EMA on my chart, and I also have VWAP on my chart as well. So if we're looking at the chart, it looked like the move wants to continue to go higher since we're trading above the EMAs, right? But I also want you to keep in mind that when you're trading the smaller contracts, if you purchase one little small contracts per move, per point, you'll make $2 per point. So let's say, for example, if I decide to, buy long, if I decide to buy long at, let's say, $21,527, that's my long entry, right? And the first thing that you want to do when you want to go long with trading futures, you want to click on buy. So my entry for this long towards the upside was at $21,526.25. Now, as you all can see, my profit, it's over here on the right-hand side. So I'm betting on the market to increase higher. Whenever I'm doing a buy, I'm betting on the market to increase higher. All right, so I'm betting on the market to increase higher, right? All right, so now I'm going to sell my position because I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable with the profit. I'm going to sell my position. Anytime you want to sell your position, now I'm down on this position. You want to click on sell. And then the system, it'll automatically sell the position for you. So now I'm going to get back in, right? And I'm going to purchase 5 contracts this go around. So I'm going to buy 5 with a market price, and I'm betting on the move to go higher. So anytime you're betting on the move to go higher, you want to click on buy. All right, so I just clicked on buy. Now for these 5 contracts, my average cost, it's $21,525.25. Now, let's say for example, this move, it trends up, 25 points. And now we're trading at $21,525. Remember, I said the smaller contracts per point, it's $2 per point. Now, when you're trading the bigger contracts, you only want to trade one of those because it's $20 per point. But in this case, I'm trading the smaller contract. So now I'm up $60, right? But let's say, for example, this move, it went all the way to $21,521. That's a 25-point move. So 25 times, no, 2 times 5, that would give us 10. So 10 times 25, that would give us a profit of $250, just to keep things simple. And remember, we're trading the smaller contracts. Now, if we were trading the bigger contracts and it's $20 per point, let's say for example, if we're trading the bigger contracts, so I just purchased 5 more contracts of the smaller ones. So anytime you're holding 10 of the smaller contracts, it's equivalent to one big contract, if that makes sense. It's equivalent to one big contract. So now in this case, per point, I'll average $20 per point since I'm holding 10 contracts, and that's equivalent to one big NQ contract, right? So let's say, for example, if we get a 50-point move, my average cost, it's at $21,527. And now we're trading at $21,577. 50 times 20, that would give you a profit of $1,000. But the move has to go higher for you to make that $1,000. Let's say, for example, if it drops 50 points towards the downside, you would be down $1,000. All right, so enough with that. Now I'm going to sell this position so we can focus on buying a position towards the downside. All right, so I'm going to sell this position for a small profit. So I just sold that position for a small, actually, no, I'm down on that position. Now I'm down $7.64. Now, let's say, for example, if I wanted, wow, a massive, bullish candle just came in. Now, let's say, for example, if I wanted to go short towards the downside, I'm only going to purchase one contract to go short. So anytime you're going short with futures, you want to click on sell first. You want to click on sell. So I'm going to click on sell right now. All right, so I just got filled for one small little contract for a sell towards the downside. Now, as you all can see, if you're looking at this 5-minute bullish candle, we're currently trending towards the upside. And I'm down approximately, $8. I'm down $8 because the move is trending up. Now, I would buy more, but I don't want to buy, too much. And next thing you know, I'm down a massive amount in my, combine account. But I just want to show you all how to buy and sell, futures. If you're betting on the upside or if you're betting on the downside. So in this case, this position, it's currently, not working out. So let's say, for example, I see this position, it's not working out. You want to click on buy, and that would automatically sell your position, sell your short position. Now, remember, anytime you're going short towards the downside, you want to click on sell first. And then when you want to sell that position with Top Step, you can click on close position or you can click on flatten all. In this case, I'll just click on the buy, button, because the buy button, that can also sell your position as well. But you got to make sure that you're on the number of contracts that you're holding. In this case, I'm only holding one contract. So I'm going to click on, one. and then I'm going to click on buy, and it'll instantly sell my position. All right, so now let's go back to the big screen chart because I'm going to utilize the big screen chart because I kind of like this chart, better. But let's go back to the presentation as well. Let's go back to the presentation. All right, so we just covered how to buy a contract and how to sell a contract if you're going short. And we also went over a real world example. Now, when it comes to trading futures, I do not want anyone on this live stream trading your own money when it comes to trading futures. And here's why I don't want you trading your own capital. If you don't have a couple $1,000s to lose in one day, don't trade your own capital. I want you all to trade with a prop firm just so you can get the basics down pat and you don't have to risk your capital. You can risk a small amount and make a significant amount. So in this case with Top Step, you can start off with $49, right? You can start off with $49. And I'm going to share this link in the chat so you all can sign up for Top Step if you're interested. I don't want you to trade your real money. Please do not trade your real money. All right, so I'm sharing the link in Top Step right now. And yes, this live stream, it's definitely being recorded on YouTube, so you'll be able to go back to the live stream to hear everything that I said in real time. So here's the link in the YouTube chat for the Top Step website. If you're interested in trading with Top Step, I would not recommend trading your own capital. And with Top Step, right, that's all you have to do is start up. And I don't get paid anything from Top Step. The only time I get paid from Top Step is when I submit my payouts for Top Step. And I've submitted about a couple $1,000s this year in payouts with Top Step. But I want to show you all how much these accounts cost so you can have a general idea of how much you'll be investing in your futures trading career. So with Top Step, it's only $49 to start trading with Top Step. And then once you pass the trading challenge with Top Step, and you got to make $3,000, you got to make $1,500 in one day, $1,500 the next day, or you can break it up in a couple of different days, but you can become a funded trader in a matter of 2 days. So in this case, with Top Step, you can buy the $49 account. Your profit target, it's $3,000. Your max contract size, if you're trading the big contracts, it's 5 contracts. If you're trading the smaller contracts, it's 50 contracts. Your daily max loss limit with Top Step is $2,000. So when you're trading futures, you need a large wiggle room. So when you start trading, you don't want to risk, $100, per contract, or $50 per contract. You want to risk about maybe $500 to $1,000 when you're trading futures starting out. And it also depends on how many contracts you have as well. If you have one big NQ contract, you want to at least risk about $1,000 on that one, big NQ contract. If you're trading the smaller contracts, you want to probably risk about $500 with trading about 5 through I would say max 5 small contracts at max. Risk about $500. But on a daily basis, I'm usually starting off with $500 to $1,000 risk. Now, in some cases, I'll increase my risk, but it depends on the trading day. So today, I increased my risk today because I felt like I needed a little bit more, wiggle room. But with that being said, I want you all to trade with Top Step. Please do not trade your real capital starting out. All right, so let's go back to the presentation. Let's go back to the presentation and let's go back to our chart now. All right, so for our chart, here's the tools that you'll need to become successful. Keyword successful when it comes to day trading futures. It's a few things that you must have on your chart. So here's the few things that you must have on your chart. In this case, I have MACD. I don't have RSI, but you can also utilize RSI. And if you need help with identifying the trend, you want to have the EMAs on your chart. And that's the 20 to 50 and the 200 EMA. So today, you see how we were trading above all of these EMAs? With futures, that's how you can know if you're in the right direction. If we're trading above the EMAs, we're bullish. If we're trading below the EMAs, we're bearish. Now, on today's trading day, we were bullish. All right, so now I'm going to show you all a simple trading method that you can utilize every single day when it comes to trading futures, or even when it comes to trading, ETFs such as QQQ. So I utilize QQQ levels to also day trade futures. I'll utilize QQQ levels as well, right? And every single morning before the trading day begins, in the Discord, I'm usually sending out a pre-market game plan. And I'm going to show you all this pre-market, game plan really quick, just to have a general idea of what I'm referring to. Let's go to the Discord really quick. All right, here we go. All right, so here's the Discord for the Supreme Traders. And if you're interested in joining the Supreme Traders, I'll share the link in the chat. I'll share the link in the chat. So that's the Supreme Traders Discord link. And now I am going to go to the SPY, QQQ, and IWM analysis. So every morning, right, we have a game plan that we follow. We have a game plan for SPY. We have a game plan for the Qs, and we also have a game plan for IWM. So in this case, let's look at the Qs really quick. Let's look at the Qs. So the Qs today, right? And I usually do a bullish setup and a bearish setup. On this particular day, we were focusing on a bullish setup towards the upside, right? So a bullish setup number one, a break above pre-market highs. Entry trigger, break and 1 through 5 minute hold above $516.37 with volume and bullish confirmation. Stop loss below $515, below the 200 EMA. Profit targets. Profit target number one, $518.51. Profit target number two, $520.10. Profit target number three, $521.70. Now, if we go to the chart for the Qs, right? If we go to the chart really quick, let's go to the chart really quick. All right, so here's the chart for the Qs. So the Qs, they opened up at $524. They opened up at $524. Let me pull something down really quick. All right, so they opened up at $524. And remember, we said if we break and hold above $516.37, it's go time. So that's going to be our bullish level. Now, I'm a trader who will trade on the open. I'm not, scared, and I don't, I'm not hesitant when it comes to, trading NQ or the Qs. So on this particular day, which was today, the game plan was, hey, if we break above $516.37, it's a strong possibility that we're going to start trending towards those profit targets. The first profit target was $518.51. The second profit target, $520.10. The third profit target, $521.70. So we had 3 profit targets on our chart, right? If you think about it, we broke above all of these profit targets today. So you could have made an enormous amount of money if you stuck to the game plan. Now, a few traders in the Supreme Trading Discord, they stuck to the game plan and they were able to profit from this move towards the upside, right? Because we were bullish once we broke above this $516.37 level. Now, let's go to NQM25 futures, because you're going to see the exact same setup. Even though this is a future contract, the Qs in NQM25, they trade in the same direction. So you can utilize those levels for NQ as well. But let's say, for example, if you didn't want to utilize those levels and you wanted to utilize the futures levels that we had in the Discord, we also have futures level score as well for NQ. So you'll also have a game plan to trade NQ futures every single morning as well. So we had a profit target at $21,248. The second one was at $21,293, and the third one was at $21,310. Now let's implement these numbers on the chart so you can have a general idea of the strategy that you need to utilize when it comes to day trading futures on a daily basis. So the strategy that you want to utilize when it comes to day trading futures, it's a simple strategy. It's called the open range breakout. So the open range breakout, you want to watch for the first 15 minutes of the trading day. So I'm going to adjust my chart to the first 15 minutes of the trading day, right? Adjust my chart to the first 15 minutes of the trading day. And you want to use the high and the low of the first 15-minute candle. So the high of this NQ candle, it was at $21,333.75, right? $21,333.75. That's our ORB resistance. And let's look at our support for the first 15 minutes of the day. It was at $21,202.25. That's going to be our ORB support. All right, so now we have our levels in place. And if we go to the Qs chart, you'll see the exact same thing, family. You'll see the exact same thing. So if we adjust our chart for the 15-minute time frame for the Qs, we have a strong bullish 15-minute candle. And if we go back to the NQ chart, we have the exact same setup on the open. So you want to have your ORB support and resistance levels in place after that candle is formed. Now, in some cases, if you want to be, a little risky, you can trade the first 15 minutes of the trading day. But in some cases, if you want to be on the safe side, you can wait until this 15-minute candle close. Now, for me today, I didn't wait for this first 15-minute candle to close. I noticed that the first 5 minutes of the trading day, we had some bullish candles trading above VWAP, this purple line right here. And remember, anytime we're trading above VWAP, we're bullish. And if I add the EMAs on my chart, the 20, the 50, and the 200, the second 5-minute candle, it broke above the 200 EMA. And next thing you know, we were trading above all of the EMAs. So that was giving us a confirmation that the move wanted to continue higher. So you could have made about $1,000, $2,000 on the open off of this, one or this second 5-minute candle, because this first 5-minute candle, it had a 62-point move. And if we do 62 times 20, right? If you're trading one NQ contract, let's do 62 times 20. 62 times 20, if you would have got in at, the perfect entry, that was 12,000. I said 12,000, $1,240 in a matter of 5 minutes, depending on, where you got in at. So this 5-minute candle, it had a 62.25 point move. And remember, I said earlier, with the NQ contracts, it's $20 per point. Now, if you're trading the smaller contracts, it's $2 per point. All right, so let me remove these EMAs from my chart and let me go back to the VWAP strategy. Now, you also want to have your pre-market high and your pre-market low in place as well. And you'll usually have these levels in place before the market opened up. So NQ pre-market low, that was at $21,112.50. So I'll draw pre-market low. And we had our pre-market high right here at $21,290. That's our pre-market high. Pre-market high. All right, so we have 4 levels in place right now. But remember, those ORB levels, we're not going to have those levels until the first 15-minute candle close. Now, on this particular example, I said, hey, if we break above the pre-market highs, that's an indication that we have a bullish trend towards the upside. But in some cases, I don't like to wait until we get all the way up there. If I see the first 5-minute candle of the trading day breaking above VWAP with a bullish MACD at the bottom of our screen, and as you can see, this green line is trading above the red line, and we have bright green volume bars at the bottom of our screen. Anytime you see a bullish setup like that, it's a strong possibility that we're going to start increasing towards the upside. Now, let me remove that box and let's go back to the chart. So we broke above the pre-market high right here at 9:35 a.m. And if you think back, I mentioned earlier, I say, hey, before the market opened up, we may have a bounce towards the upside since we already pulled back massively in pre-market. And that's exactly what we did when the market opened up. So if you knew how to read the candlesticks and you saw that we were breaking pre-market highs, that's your cue to start, looking for entry, a safe entry to go towards the upside. All right, so let's go back to the strategy that you want to utilize for the first 15 minutes of the trading day. So in some cases, you want to wait for that first 15-minute candle to close, right? So here's the first 15-minute candle. I'm going to highlight that once again because it's extremely important. This is a bullish engulfing 15-minute candle. And if you look at all of the candles on the previous, left-hand side, we started to trade above all of those candles. So that was giving us a strong indication that, hey, this market, it wants to trade higher. Even though we're bearish in pre-market, the market do not want to go lower. It does not want to go any lower. The bulls, they stepped in and they pushed this thing towards the upside. All right, so now we have to find an entry. And remember, if you want to be on the safe side, you can wait until the first 15-minute candle close. Or if you want to be risky like myself, I'll usually get in. If I see a pretty good setup around 9:34 a.m. through 9:40 a.m. so I can catch that early move towards the upside. And that's how I was able to make 2,000 and some odd change before 9:45 a.m. Now, as you all can see, around 9:45 a.m., well, after 9:45 a.m., the sellers came in this area. So we had sellers from 9:50 through probably, 10 a.m. All right, so Spence, where is my entry going to be located at? I love utilizing the 1-minute time frame for my entry. and the 5-minute time frame for a sense of direction, and the 15-minute time frame for a strong confirmation. So let's go to the 1-minute time frame really quick so we can find our entry after the first 15-minute candle closed. And you want to make sure you have your ORB support and your ORB resistance level on your chart before you place your trade. All right. So the sellers, they stepped in at 9:49 a.m. So in this area right here, we started to have some selling pressure. So in some cases, you want to look for a buy entry in this area, but you also want to make sure that we're holding this level, or if we break below that level, you want to make sure that we're trending back up above that level. So let's say, for example, if you waited patiently and you said, you know what, I see that we're holding this level from 9:49 through 10 a.m. You know what? I'm going to place my entry right here at 10 a.m. So you could have got in right here at 10 a.m., right? And your entry, it probably could have been around 21,000 and let's say $21,347 and no, let's do $21,354.25. All right, and you're purchasing a move long towards the upside. So you could have got in right here, right? And we had a high all the way up here at $21,462.50. So let's see how many points that was. 462.50. So that was 108 point move. 108 point move, right? So 108 times 20, if you're trading one NQ contract, that would have gave you a profit of $2,160 if you would have held from 10 until 10:17 a.m. And if you want to look for a strong confirmation, you want to go back to the 5-minute time frame. And from a 17 minute play, you could have banked a lot of money from this 5-minute 10 a.m. candle and selling on this 5-minute 10:15 candle. So when you're trading futures, you don't want to stay in your positions too long. In some cases, I'm only in my position 2 through 5 minutes max. Now, I might hold a position a little longer if I'm down on it, but honestly, I'm trying to make 200 through 400 bucks per day when it comes to trading futures. I'm not trying to always go for the home runs.